Pleasure. Well, I guess my first question would be, can you talk about your role in trying to recruit political candidates to come to Elon?
Well, we do not recruit political candidates to come to Elon. What we do is we have a process that allows students or student groups to invite political candidates to come to the university. So we knew that this was going to be an exciting year, so we met, several of us, Dr. Jackson, Mr. Whittington, and myself, and we designed a process, and that process is now posted on the web, and there's a great website, and it's called Guidelines for Political Activities, and students can register through the Phoenix Connect and indicate what speakers they would like to have and when. And Mr. John Dooley actually then interviews those individuals and talks about how are you going to advertise it, where do you want to meet, when is it going to be. And so that process has been up and running for several weeks, and we've had a couple of candidates running for state offices that have come on campus, and I think it's a wonderful new process. But the university doesn't itself invite people to come to campus, nor do we support the different individuals that come to campus. We want the students to have the experience of inviting and getting to ask good questions, and that's our job, to create that sort of environment.
And with regard to just the university administration side, I've heard from different people that, not using the word recruit, but the administration has expressed interest in getting a gubernatorial debate, a senatorial debate, and Leo Lambert's even flirted with the idea of a presidential debate for 2020 when the new center's here.
Correct.
Is that something that Elon has pursued, those gubernatorial, senatorial races, and what was that looking like?
Yeah, we were contacted probably in the spring to talk about having the governor's debate on campus and the Senate's debate on campus, and we put in a bid for it. And we were selected to do both of them initially, and then they decided that they were not going to be able to do the governor's race here. But the complicating factor is we've got a schedule, a campus to run with limited number of facilities, venues to hold this. And they kept changing the dates. They kept changing the dates. Finally, we locked into one. We said, okay, we will do the Senate debate here. And then they changed it again. And then they said, we need to put it on a date such and such. And we said, that doesn't work for us. We just don't think that this is going to work out for us this year.
And they being the candidates, the campaign?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's actually, it was North Carolina Public Television, but they're working with the candidates. And so that's the complicating factor. And yes, we have said that we would like to, in our new SHAR Center, Convocation Center, host a presidential debate someday. We will see if that sort of thing might be possible.
And this isn't, I know they're major candidates right now, but those aren't the only political figures Elon's expressed interest in. We had David Gergen deliver commencement. We have Kathleen Parker coming in shortly. What do you kind of see as the role for Elon University serving as a civic engagement facilitator between different candidates or political figures who want to come on and give their ideas?
Well, once again, we don't invite people to do that. But so let me explain. So the David Gergen, that was a selection of the senior class officers for the commencement. And what I do is I meet with the senior class officers, typically in the fall, and we throw out a bunch of names that they might consider about inviting. And they're all in the family. So it's not like we would love to have Oprah Winfrey, but right now she's not a part of the family. But David Gergen is the head of the advisory board for the law school. So I brought that name to the senior class officers, and he accepted. And he gave a wonderful, stimulating talk, sort of a call to action for the students. Kathleen Parker is a part of the Baird Endowed Speaker Series. So every fall we bring in someone who's won a Pulitzer Prize. And so last year we brought in Leonard Pitts. This year we brought in Kathleen Parker. So we want to bring in a variety of speakers. Leonard Pitts, I guess, would be slightly to the left, Kathleen Parker slightly to the right. So we want to expose the campus, the community, the students to a wide variety of thinking, because it's that kind of variety that makes you go, well, I don't agree with that, or I do agree with that. Wow, I don't even like that. I need to ask a really challenging question and be prepared for that. So that's our job, to help the students really be involved in the civic engagement process. And we want to create as many opportunities for that. And right now, the guidelines for political activities requires the students or student groups to invite the people to campus.
And my last final question on this note is, I've heard some criticisms in the past, particularly after the David Gergen speech, because it was very unconventional, to say the least. He was very powerful about HB2 and emotions, and some people had expressed concerns that, well, Elon's not the same as it used to be. We used to be a very conservative, Christian university, but right now it's becoming more and more and more liberal. And even with the Kathleen Parker acceptance that she would be the speaker, we saw students petition and push back. And I know there's a lot of different Democratic people who are in the administration, but from your perspective, has Elon become this more liberal place, or is it just a matter of trying to bring people with different perspectives?
Well, it certainly is. We want to bring people with different perspectives. I think you would be surprised that when you say Democratic, I think you're meaning the party. I would not necessarily say that the administration is primarily Democratic. I would say it's pretty safe to say that faculty are probably more Democratic than Republican. I would say our staff might be more Republican than Democrat. I would predict you couldn't predict which administrators are Democratic or Republican. When it comes to Elon being more liberal, I think Elon has certainly changed as an institution. We are more diverse. We are the Phoenix, not the Fighting Christians. We have a wide, diverse religious background. That's when learning takes place the best. I'm a big proponent of divergent learning, where you have different viewpoints sitting around the table challenging you. If you have all the same viewpoints, that's called convergent thinking, where you try to come up with the one right answer. That's not when learning takes place the best. It is the diversity that's important to really giving the students the best educational experience possible, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable sometimes. Because if you feel uncomfortable and challenged, and then come out of a discussion feeling like, wow, I learned something, or I convinced someone, that's really, really a great experience.